I looked at the National Science Foundation website and was able to look at the different REU programs, and I applied to ones that fit my interests, and I was interested in genetics, so therefore I was able to search for REUs specific to genetic programs. Yeah, so I worked at the University of North Carolina at Charlotte, and I studied starlet sea anemones in Dr. Reitzel's lab. And what I looked at was specifically HSP production. HSP is a protein that starlet sea anemones produce in response to stress. And the stress I used for my experiment was temperature. So I looked at how, so this experience was great because it allowed me to do research full time. I was involved in undergraduate research, but that was only a couple hours a day or a couple hours a week each semester. And therefore I was able to do 40 hours of research a week and see how intensive it is and be able to design my own experiment, look at the limitations that come with the experimental design, as well as to get some molecular genetics work to analyze RNA production and with the starlet sea anemone.
Most recently, this past summer, I had the chance to go over to Switzerland, Geneva, Switzerland, and work at CERN, which is a huge international collaboration. It's a physics laboratory, and they have this giant 27-mile circumference, or 27 kilometers in circumference, this underground tunnel where we accelerate protons at nearly the speed of light and smash them together at several points along the ring. And I worked with the CMS collaboration, which is one of the big detectors that sits around one of those collision points. And it was a ton of fun just working at this huge collaboration. And then on the weekends, I also had the chance to travel around Europe. And you can do a lot of the research that goes on at CERN just on a computer anywhere. But just being there on the CERN campus, you get to hear things much quicker, and you can have conversations at lunch or over coffee with these great physicists and other graduate students that are working on their own projects. And so it's just fun being there. It's a great atmosphere.
This summer I worked at the Marine Biological Laboratory, which is in Woods Hole, Cape Cod, Massachusetts. And here I would study the different problems that were going on with the fish in the ocean. So I would go out and I would collect all different kinds of species, anywhere from the size of a dot on a pencil all the way up until big crabs and fish. And we would test to see what was in their tissues that was causing them to be sick. And now I'm going to go to graduate school for biogeochemistry, which is what I did this summer, studying stable isotopes and the signatures that come from tissues. And so I'm switching labs to a lab that is biogeochemistry, and that's what I'm going to do forever now. So when you get there, everything's completely paid for, free food, free travel, free living. They take you on trips every weekend, and then during the week you have this intense summer experience where they treat you like graduate students, and you have to do your own research and then present it at the end. So it's really intense, and you really get a sense for what grad school is like, but it also just makes it a lot more, makes you think harder than you ever have before.